Yeah, I'm very lucky to have met a guy called Brian Cox. I met him about 1978, 79 with Jimmy Tibbet. Brian Cox, then he wasn't so big as what he is now. He wasn't such a big actor. He had no idea that he would go forward like he has done. Yeah, he was a good friend of the family. Just a nice guy. He done an autobiography where he was saying that, as far as he's concerned, that all gangsters just completely ruin their life. In a way, he said they're mugs for what they do. They don't go nowhere, which I suppose is correct. You know, it's correct. Brian's got it 100% right. Even though Brian was involved with people who were gangsters, but had gone into the film game or equity. And Brian Cox had a really bad car accident. He done his leg really bad, but he went forward. He stood bail for me on one of my charges, and just a gentleman, mate. To know someone like that who's so famous and such a nice guy. We are now trying to get hold of Brian Cox to have a quick chat to him. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he might write something for me in my book, which would be nice. I want to send him my book, get him to read it. I feel that he would do something with it. I feel that most people that read my book or into that, directors or whatever, they would do something with my book. My book's just fantastic. It's just so good. But Brian Cox, I've been trying to get hold of Brian now for a long time. Through his family, some of his family have been trying to get hold of Brian Cox for me, but it's not easy. Someone who's so famous as that, he doesn't want to get involved with people like gangsters, ex-gangsters, ex-villains. He doesn't need that in his life, yeah. He's gone forward with his life. He's gone past all that, yeah. But when I see him, I've seen him on some of the films now. Some of the films that he made and he's in. I felt proud to know. I felt proud to know him like I did, yeah, as a friend. And he used to come and watch me box. And I said, "Call for Cats." He gave me that Call for Cats record, coming down to the ring. You know, he was just always there. He was every fight. He was there. He was there for my bow. Just a nice guy. And he just went. And when he wrote his book, he didn't mention the people that he should have mentioned. Some of the people that stood by him all through the years of him being nobody as such, you know. And this all of a sudden crash, he hit the front, and he is Scottish, you know. And the guy's just got all the luck in the world. And I'm so pleased for him. Yeah, he's one of the best actors, directors that is at the moment. Yeah, some of the films he's been in is Succession, the new one that's just out, Succession. Then he was in Manhunter, another film called Manhunter. Then he was in Troy. I mean, Troy was a big film. It was a big film. He was in Troy as well. He was the king in Troy. Then there was Braveheart. Look at that film. You know, he was one of the top men in Braveheart. Then Red. I mean, everybody watches Red. Must have watched Red. He was there in Red. He was the Russian in Red. I remember seeing him. I couldn't believe it when I see him in here. It was fantastic, yeah. And then there was what's that one? Osby. I've not seen him in that film. He's done a film called Osby. Then there was one of Jane Doyer, right? Oh no, sorry, forget that one, yeah. And the other one was Born Identity. I mean, Born Identity was one of the top ones. He was the detective in Born Identity, one with glasses, big guy. He's been in some really good films, and he's the top of what he does, profession. I think his son is also a producer, director of films. He's got a fantastic family. He now lives in America, so that gives me a bit of luck with Gary Stretch. You know, Gary Stretch Gary Stretch is a producer, director. I've got half a chance of maybe meeting him again, Brian Cox, or even maybe him just taking my book or reading it, you know. It'd be nice. I mean, he comes over to England quite a lot. He does quite a lot of talks over here. It'd be nice to be able to get there and get in the audience and maybe, you know, show my hand and say something, but I don't want to show my hand and say something that's going to make him look small, you know. So he's a friend, and he's made his life. And what he says is, gangsters, villains, are just ruining their life, and they're nobodies, and that is 100%. All us people like gangsters, villains that do all these podcasts and all these sort of things, we don't make ourselves out to be some big time Charlie potatoes. We do in a way by telling our stories, but at the end of our stories, what have we got? We got nothing. We all live for nothing. We got nothing. What YouTube might pay us? What, I don't know. Some of us get £1,000 a month or £2,000 a month, maybe. Some get a lot less than that, £500 a month, £400 a month. I get about £400 a month, £500 a month. You know, I'm not one of the big ones. Like, you know, some people get good money and they got good views. But, you know, that is our lives. That is our lives. We ain't going nowhere, mate. We're just, at the minute, I've got a book coming out. I'm hoping for films. I'm more or less 99% sure there'll be something films in my book, you know. I need a break. I need to get on my life. I've ruined my life. I've been a gangster. I've been a villain. I've been hurting people. But what's the point? What's the point? What have I got out of it? You know what I mean? Just got people talk about you as whatever, you know. People give you bad names. People give you good names. You know. So anyway, I'd rather maybe, I don't know, maybe when I done a podcast with Lad Bible with Chris Lambiani, Lambiano got done with the craze. They said to Chris, have you got any regrets, Chris? And yes, he's got big regrets. He brought up the Bible and he brought up everything, you know, the regrets, Jesus, this and that, this, that and the other, yeah. When they asked me if I had any regrets, I said, no, I haven't got no regrets, not as such, yeah. Because if I had regrets, I wouldn't have done what I done, you know. If I thought myself, oh, you know, the first robbery I've done, if I had regrets for that robbery, I would have gone on and done more and more and more. I wouldn't have hurt people like I did if I had regrets as an enforcer. I said the only regret I really have is being caught. Is being caught for what I've done. And the biggest regret now I've got is being like I was all my life. Now thinking about it, it is a regret, but at the time it isn't, yeah. I was given an IPP. I was given a 2.5-year IPP. I've done, what, I don't know, lot, big time, 10. I've done about 21 years of my IPP. So, you know, I mean, that sentence is a sentence, it's just mad, crazy sentence, yeah. But that sentence sorted me out because they give me skills, psychology. They give me skills that I've used, yeah, that I've used all through my being released. The skills that I've been given, they're not too happy about me doing podcasts and videos on my life and talking like I talk about gangsterism and villainy. They're not too happy about that, but I've got to let people see what I've done in my life and see that it's not such a good thing. You know, at the end of it, what do you get? I've got nothing at the end of it. I've just lost everything. So I lost my mum, I lost my dad, I lost all my families, even though none are going to talk to my family, but I've still lost them as families. You know, I've got a beautiful sister, I've got brothers, beautiful brothers, other sister, I've got all that, yeah, but I don't really see them that much. My big sister Dinah, she keeps in contact with me as much as she can. She's just a beautiful, beautiful girl, you know what I mean? Someone like that, you know, everyone gets one in their family that becomes just beautiful, yeah? And I've got brother Keith, he's become a friend of mine. Even though he was a bully to me years ago, he's now my friend, you know what I mean? But me and him used to have rows all the time, 24/7. He used to always bash me up as a kid. You know, he was just someone that, if he hit you on the chin, he'd knock you out, my brother Keith. I mean, he was just a powerful, powerful man. I love him for what he was. He taught me a lot. He taught me big lessons in my life. And I thank him very much for what he did for me, yeah. But as I say, I should imagine a lot of people that do these videos and do these podcasts who are gangsters or villains or whatever they've been, yeah, they do these. Hopefully, they do these to show people, kids and grown-ups that are thinking about doing certain things, to always challenge your thoughts. Yeah, challenge your thoughts, mate. If you was to challenge your thoughts and say, "Oh, well, if I do this, I've got a chance of getting nicked. Maybe I haven't got a chance of getting nicked. Maybe later on I have, and I could lose my life. I could lose my liberty. I could go in prison for maybe 10 years, 12 years. If you thought about this nearly every day, these sort of things, yeah, you wouldn't do anything. You'd just be a complete nothing. You'd just, you know, just be a Bible puncher as such. You know, wouldn't, no gangsters, no villainy and all this. I look up to Matt Legg. Matt Legg, I talk to Matt Legg. Matt Legg's, he has been in prison for what? Maybe, I don't know, 6 months, 7 months of his life, 12 months of his life, I don't know. But that 12 months of his life, salute with him. He realised, that ain't for me, mate. That ain't for me. I've got kids, or I'm going to have kids or whatever, but that ain't for me. That ain't the life I want to lead. And he's done quite well in his life. He's not a gangster. A lot of people say he's a big enforcer. He's not a big enforcer. He doesn't want to be a big enforcer. He just wants to do what he's doing now. He does good podcasts. He does fantastic podcasts. He doesn't want to be portrayed as that sort of person because he's got kids. And he doesn't want his kids to know that he used to live that life, which I think is fantastic. I think it's really, really good that he's nipped it in the bud as quick as possible, which a lot of us should have done, really. In my life, as I say, when I done Lad Bible, I had no regrets. As I say, but the only regrets I've got is getting caught and getting the IPP. That is the only regret I had in my life, getting that. But it sorted me out in a way, so it's not a regret. It's done me a favour. It's done me a favour. I don't like having an IPP. I like to be able to be free. I like to be able to go on holiday. I like to be able to go abroad, get a passport, but it puts you in a predicament that I can't do that. And and we want to say things and we want to do things, but we don't. We just don't. We don't. Anyway, Bang Bang Rahal. Please press the like button and subscribe. And good morning to you, or good afternoon, or whatever it is. Yeah, bye bye.